Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. So, I was sitting down, I was playing the game, I was listening to some Canes content, and I was listening, and I see that there's a new talking point out, right? We don't want the microwave. We don't want the quick deal. We want Mario to come, you know, lay the concrete down. We want a strong foundation. We don't want what Mel Tucker did last year, what Josh Heupel is doing with Tennessee this year, or Gene Chizik at Auburn, or Ed Orgeron at LSU. No, we want what Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney have done. And I asked this question. Please answer it in the comments. Can you build that type of program today? In this climate, with all the things that's going on, can you really build that type of program? Now, I'm just going to give you a few points that I had at the top of my head, and you feel free to comment down below. Do you think that can you build a sustainable program like that? Now, obviously, we'll start at the top, NIL. We know Booster's been paying kids to go to schools. We've been knowing that, right? Way back in the day. We've been knowing that. You know, some people may feel, some people who went to HBCUs feel like that's the reason that PWIs were able to get their players, because they started paying, because they weren't just voluntarily going to those particular hostile situations, right? So that's already that's already off the table. But the thing of it is now is that the players are in control. Now, I've said on some past videos, I don't follow recruiting. I don't cover recruiting. I'm not going to necessarily have any recruiting topics on any videos that I make, right? However, I do listen to channels that they do discuss recruiting. And so one of the things that I found very, very interesting from one of these particular channels was that, you have high school players now that are going to different schools, and they're basically going around and seeing, hey, what type of NIL opportunities do I have? What type of alumni? What type of boosters do y'all have? What kind of packages can y'all put together for me? Now, again, these particular things are not supposed to be used based on what the NIL is supposed to be. These particular type of things are not supposed to be used to entice a player to go to a school. Some got to be on paper. It just can't be flat out pay for play. It can't be flat out, here's a contract to this school. It can't be that, even though that's kind of what it is, right? So, you got young men doing that. And hey, look, I don't want to come off as the guy that feel like the players shouldn't get paid. Yeah, you should get paid. Get whatever you can. But what do we as fans do? Again, like I said, one of the things that college football fans do not like about the NFL and why they prefer college is they say there's more passion in the game. The players want it more because they're not getting paid. And then they get to the NFL and they act like divas. They hold out. You know what I mean? They go on rants, all this particular stuff like this. They do things like this. I remember a couple of years ago, I remember when Carson Palmer said, look, I got $70 million in the bank. I'm going to the house. He told the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going to the house. Now, let's go back. What happened in 2020? We know what happened in 2020. COVID happened. But no, what happened from a college football standpoint? Players sat out. Some players sat out because their conferences were not playing. Some players sat out for health reasons, even though I feel like a lot of them sat out because it's like, look, it's a loophole. We got a loophole. I can get an agent early. I can go start working out. We had one of our own sit out for health reasons, Greg Rousseau. And guess what? NFL did not punish nobody. NFL didn't punish nobody. Greg Rousseau went first round, 1 year of playing. After sitting out, Jamar Chase went first round. Michael Parsons played 2 years, went first round. Quarterback for the 49ers, played 1 year, went first round. NFL didn't punish y'all. So I asked this question. If you got a superstar freshman who plays good his freshman year, takes it to another level his sophomore year, What's stopping him from, just say he got $750,000 in NIL. Let's just say 750. What's stopping him from sitting down his junior year and getting ready for the draft? Because that's coming. Guys are already sitting at the bowl games. They NCAA said, well, we're standing at the 12 teams. I don't feel like that's going to stop nobody from sitting out. For the simple fact that I don't think this is college basketball. I don't feel like the 12th team got the same opportunity to make it to the championship game as the number 1 team. If you're the number 12 team, I think that's a big gap. You're not as good as the top 4 teams. Now, sometimes, obviously, SEC fluffs their schedules up. We got that. We got that. But the reality of the situation is like, if the 12 team get matched up with the 16, they're getting blasted. I just feel like the gap is just that big between the top 5 and 6 programs and everybody else. So I don't think it's going to stop guys from necessarily sitting out. I don't think that's going to stop it, especially if they got NIL money. So now what do coaches have to do in constructing a roster? I got to recruit high school kids. I got to recruit my own kids to stay. And I got to recruit transfer portal guys. I got to do all of these particular different things. And I saw something, I don't know if it was true, so if y'all know a little bit more than me, just comment down below. But they were talking about, sometimes some of the official visits that schools have, they may have to pick and choose. Are we going to host a high school player or are we going to host a transfer guy? We may have to pick and choose. So that's another thing. And then you got to deal with the guys leaving out. I don't like using the word purge. I'm going to use the word rinse. When you start rinsing the program of players, you may have some prospects that may reach out to some of these guys, especially if it's a situation where it's one of them guys that prospect grew up watching play, and he was a great player. And he may want to know why. Hey, why you leaving? They recruiting me hard. Coach telling me this, and he may turn around and say, man, coach lying. That ain't what it is at all. That ain't what it is at all. Let me tell you, this is what they doing. And they lying. So a prospect may be swayed because it's like, I grew up watching him. I know he was good. He got all type of records and stuff like that. I know he was good. Now, you may have a son that may look at it and just say, like, no, you left because, oh, boy, he better than you. But you still gotta handle that. And so, and I'm gonna go on record and say that the transfer portal is gonna separate the recruiters from the coaches. I've said that. I stand on it. I think in the next 4 or 5 years, you may see something. You may see some guys that we gave good coaching credentials to, and you just a good recruiter. And depending on how the portal shake out, this guy over here, he really the good coach. He really the good coach over here. And now he finally got the dogs to run with you. And he dog walked you. All right. So you got that at play. So when you think about building programs, and then you also got the assistant coach type of thing, where one of the things that was interesting about Nick Saban is what it has changed here recently, but something that was interesting about him and Kirby, not Kirby, but him and Dabo, they were able to keep some assistants for a long time. Kirby Smart stayed right next to Nick Saban for a long time. Was able to build that continuity. Like I said on the video yesterday, Mario got to knock these hires out the park at the coordinator positions. He has to. Because a fatal miss at a coordinator is going to be a lot more detrimental than missing or misevaluating 2 or 3 high school kids. It's going to be a lot more fatal. Because the name of this game is wins and losses. It's not about, because I know a lot of people say, Mario died trying and he bleeds this. And it's like, oh, yeah, all that sound good. It really do. But at the end of the day, The people writing the checks, they don't care how passionate you are. It's about wins and losses. I'm not going to pay you to keep losing. I'm paying you to win. So Coach Hayes posed this question to Wholesome where it was like, hey, do you want the, I'm paraphrasing, you want the flash in the pan type of deal? Excuse me. Or would you want the solid foundation? But like I said, I don't really feel like that you're going to be able to get a solid foundation because we see some of the things, we see the tea leaves now. And I just think that it's going to be exorbitant. I think someone said how many kids are in the portal. It was like it's 3,000 kids in the portal or about to declare for it. They've already checked out. It's going to increase. So I'm not trying to cause any tension by any Kane fan that feels like, hey, Mario's gonna tear this concrete out and lay a new foundation and we're gonna ride off into the sunset. But just being real, I don't know if you can use what I keep saying Kirby, what Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney did because they were able to, as if a guy wanted to transfer back then, they had to pay. It was going to cost them. It was going to cost you a year. Alvin Kamara had to go down to junior college football for a year and then come back up to Tennessee to get it. That's the type of cost associated with transferring when Alabama and Dabo were building. That cost ain't as high right now. Now, the sad thing about it is a lot of kids are going to get left in the portal because they're not as good as they think they are. But, again, I don't really believe you'll be able to build a program like that, and we might have to settle for the flash in the pan. I would love to be wrong. I would love for somebody in the next 3 or 4 years, if we are on that upward trajectory, to come back and say, Shad, you were flat wrong. You were flat wrong. But as I currently see it right now, I just do not see a long-term sustaining program. I really see you got to strike when the iron is hot. Because striking while the iron is hot is going to buy you some time. It's going to buy you some time. Because with the transfer portal, I feel like, where you used to could get guaranteed 5 years, I think when you can literally do what, and this is my last example, I'm going to get out of here because the video went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to go. What did LA Rams say last year? F them picks. F them picks. We're going to go get Vaughn. We're going to go get Odell. We're going to get Matthew Stafford. F them picks. We had already went and got Jalen Ramsey. F them picks. We ain't got Bobby Wagner this year. F them picks. Chargers did the same thing. F them picks. We going to get guys we know can play. And that's the conundrum that some coaches are going to have. Do I want to get this high school player who's fringe, or do I want to go get this player out of the portal who already plays in our system, who doesn't have to be brought in and taught? He already has the weight. He already knows what it's like to be in a college program. You might go with that player over the fringe guy, but that guy only got 1 year. But, man, I'm on the hot seat. I got to go in this direction. I got to. So, but, camera slipping. Mario Cristobal getting paid $8 million a year. So, those are decisions that he has to make. I'm just sitting back doing commentary on YouTube, and I ain't even monetized yet. So, as always, it's about the you. Like, share, subscribe, and like I said, in the comment section, answer that question. Do you feel with the current climate of college football, can a team or a school build a program like what Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney did? Because they did it in a different era, which it don't seem like it was that long ago, but technically they did it in a different era of college football. So again, like I said, it's always about the you. Like, subscribe, share.